from the West as a whole. And this might be a good opportunity for actors like China, for example, to let's say to strengthen their relations with Turkey and also other actors from eastern side. So I think, yeah, it might decrease its influence, especially if this is going to be a beginning of new pacts that might rise in the next few years.
Okay, so let's talk about Qatar for a second, if we can. I'm really curious to hear your analysis of how this would impact Qatar, because I could see it going in so many different directions. That maybe Turkey being involved in this new pact strengthens Qatar, or the U.S. being pushed out strengthens Qatar, or a pact in the Middle East excluding Qatar weakens Qatar. So, tell me what you can say about how this would impact Qatar.
Well, Qatar is, I think it's a special case because Qatar, they have this special role as they're trying to be an independent mediator in any chance. So I think what they will try to do, and this is only my assumption, that they will try to take advantage of this kind of situation. So they will try to mediate with this kind of countries and pacts and to be in the middle and keep their relations with the US and the West as they used to do. So they were trying to, to mediate between all kind of radical forces and also Western countries. Like, for example, they did it, of course, with Hamas and also with the hostage deal. But not only that, they were also did it also with the Taliban and also mediating between the Taliban and Western countries, like Germany, for instance. So I think what they will try to do is to put themselves exactly in the middle, because in the end of the day, also these Sunni countries, although if they have diplomatic relations, if they have also security interests which are mutual, they still have this competition, and Qatar knows how to put itself in a very specific and special role. So I think they're going to keep on doing this and try to mediate between their position, because this kind of alliance is also threatening their position as a leader in the region and their influence. But I think they will try to do it in a more sophisticated way in order to take it to their own advantage, to mediate, to say, okay, we can actually help other countries if they are suffering for this kind of alliance. We can mediate between them and this kind of pacts. And this is part of the special role of Qatar for years. They're using this card for years. And I think they're going to keep on doing this, at least in the next decade.
So Israel has a very strong relationship with the U.S. This memorandum of understanding that is being reviewed and set forward, but Israel strongly coordinates with the U.S. Israel has the Abraham Accords in place, which is not a defense agreement. And then Israel, of course, has some type of structure in place with surrounding countries in terms of using airspace and air defense. But as the Arab countries in the Middle East, or even the non-Arab countries in the Middle East, create these alliances, does that even further isolate Israel?
I think so. I think it might threaten Israel's position, also Israel deterrence, because Israel still is a leading country and still is an empire in the region, militarily, technologically, and also, of course, we have the great relations with the US. But it also might be an attempt. It might also increase its isolation, because other countries are trying to isolate Israel diplomatically, not only from today, like for years. And this also, it might weaken Israel's position and its role in the region. I think also that this is also taking advantage of Israel focusing on Iran prism and on Iran, and it needs to broaden its perspective. And this is something that taking advantage of Israel focusing on Iran and what's going on in Iran as for now, and Iran as the biggest threat, and quietly trying to create this kind of alliance that it might be a future threat to Israel. And this is something I think at least Turkey taken advantage of. So Israel is focusing on enough attention to monitor this kind of future threats if you're going to have also, again, like future pacts between other countries in the region. And so it might be also isolation diplomatically. It might also be also in other kind of field, also might affect it militarily, also might affect because if Israel wouldn't change its strategy, wouldn't see in a much broadened perspective, there are some countries that will take advantage of this in also using other actors. I also want to remind all of us that not only Iran has some proxies, you have also other actors that might, and they might put some threats on Israel also in the region besides the proxy network of Iran. So I think in the end of the day, that might affect Israel also isolation diplomatically, but also in other fields, and we need to pay attention to this for sure.